finally got Of Boys and Men by Richard Reeves. I have played a few of his videos where he's talking about the crisis of men. I've played some of his interviews. And in this video that I'm about to show, I'm going to show Richard Reeves again giving his take. It's just a small clip. Then you're going to see me give Josh Hawley's op-ed that he did in Fox and what he sees as the problem, and then I'm going to give my analysis on the back end. I am planning on reading this book. I'm currently reading a fiction book right now, so I'm going to get to this book next because I have been interested and it just became available at the library last week. So I'm pretty excited to jump into this, but in the meanwhile, watch this video, watch his take, and then watch Josh Hawley, conservative senator from Missouri. So tell me what you think at the back end. Like, comment, share.
Hi there, I'm Richard Reeves. I'm the author of Boys and Men, Why the Modern Male is Struggling, Why That Matters, and What to Do About It. And in the book I set out the ways in which many boys and men, especially those from working class backgrounds or of colour, are struggling in education and the labour market and in the family, with big gender gaps now across the schooling system, disfavouring boys and men. We have seen the decline of many traditionally male jobs and not really much movement of men into the new jobs in service sector and health and so on, and a failure to update our models of fatherhood to fit with a world of gender equality. I don't think this is a problem that's being addressed properly, partly for political reasons. The right have a nostalgia for the traditional family form, but the left in many ways either see masculinity itself as the problem or fail to see that gender inequality can now run both ways. We have to take it seriously. And so the left turn their back on boys and men too often, but the right want to turn back the clock on women and girls, and that doesn't help anybody. I have a series of solutions in the book in those three key areas of education and work, and I'm hoping to start a conversation about what I think are real problems. So thanks for your interest in the book.
Senator Josh Hawley put out an op-ed in Fox, and I'm going to attempt to read it as is without editorializing. I'll make a part two to bring my stance. America's men are in a crisis and is rooted in one big lie. Of all the things this country needs, stronger borders, better paying jobs, some basic safety on our streets, above all, America needs stronger men. The left has spent decades running men down, blaming them for everything from climate change to the patriarchy. They're wrong. Strong men aren't the problem. For America, stronger, better men are the solution. All is not well with men in this country. The numbers tell the tale. Men are lonelier than ever before. They're dropping out the labor force in greater numbers than ever before. They're struggling more with alcohol abuse and alcohol. They increasingly forego a college education, even as they delay getting married and having kids. If any other demographic group was struggling to this extent, we'd call it a national crisis, and it is. So how does he propose to fix it? Let's see. But the left doesn't see it that way. They blame boys and men for the sense of the world. They say all masculinity is toxic, that simply to be a man is to make the world a worse place. They propose to do away with traditional masculinity. The left's campaign to re-educate men begins as early as preschool, where too many boys are punished for aggressive play and, if they don't comply, medicated out of their boyishness. As young men, they're denied the manufacturing jobs that allowed their fathers to earn good wages, the governing class having long ago shipped these jobs overseas and set adrift on college campuses filled with activists who despise them. And popular culture relentlessly bangs the same drum. When men aren't morons, they're actively evil. At the bottom, this critique of men is rooted in a lie that men shouldn't be leaders, creators, and heroes, but just consumers looking out for themselves. America's men have the power to transform this country for the better. Want to curb the epidemic of child poverty? Get a father to start contributing to his wife and children. Want to address the cataclysm of youth violence? Put a father in the picture. Men can help bring peace and order to a nation wrecked by crises. They can change the destiny of their families and whole neighborhoods. Their power, once tapped, can be a mighty world-shaping thing. Power alone isn't enough, though. Power alone becomes true strength when forced for good, when it's used the right way, for the right reason. What we need is a guide, a roadmap for what it means to be a good man. And for that, we should turn to the faith of our fathers. In the same breath, that the left attacks traditional manhood. They attack traditional faith as well. That's no coincidence. Faith and manhood are linked because for centuries men have looked to faith, to the Bible, to understand who they are and what they can be. In this time of turmoil, our ancient faith can guide us again. The Bible is more than a collection of familiar tales. So that's Josh Hawley, and that's his take. So I did a whole post reading Josh Hawley's op-ed for Fox. And the left does not want to demonize masculinity, and all masculinity isn't the problem. The problem is, for the longest time, women had to live under the patriarchy. And now that women can survive without men, that means that we get to choose men. And women are telling men, this is what we want. We want men that are emotionally balanced. We want men that can help out in the household. We want men who are partners, not trying to lord over women. And they hear, we don't want toxic, we don't want masculine men. That's what they hear. We tell men, we need you emotionally balanced. We need you to help out. We need this, this, and this. They hear, you can't be a man anymore. What we're saying and what they're hearing are two different things. Now here he's like, get a father to do it. Get a father to do it. Who's stopping fathers from doing anything? If men make babies, they need to be in the lives of these kids. But the problem isn't just the men being there. If the men are pushing these traditional gender roles, which women are specifically pushing back against, then the boys that they raise, even if the men are in the household, are still going to be failing and flailing with the current crop of women who are saying, I pass. So having men in the household, fabulous, let's do it. But these men need to be the partners that women are asking for, or the women are just going to continue to act out. Want to address the cataclysm of youth violence? Put a father in the picture. Cool. What is the father in the picture going to do to talk about the violence and why men are this way? This is not the left's doing. Church is declining. Christianity is declining. Women are walking away from the faith. So if guys cannot, and women are the backbone in the churches. Women are literally the backbone in the churches. So talking about men have always been that of faith. Well, why aren't the men in the church? Why are women the ones that are the emotional labor and the organizational support and the ones that are walking away? So it doesn't make sense. The math ain't math and Joshy. It's just not. So nobody is attacking faith. Have your faith. But women are saying we are not unequally yoked just because your Christianity and your Bible says so. So we're leaving because you have taken women for granted too long. So we're out. Now that women can choose, either the men are going to attempt to be who we want, or the men just get left behind. It is up to the men to make that decision to conform to what women are asking for.